Hi, welcome to the YVC Self-Guided Assessment. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the assessment process and make sure you're prepared to enter the correct information when required. The self-guided assessment is not a test. We will be using the last math class you passed, your previous grades, and your own self-assessment of your ability in order to find the most appropriate level for you to begin. Throughout this process, we are trusting you to give us reliable information. So let's take a look at the placement process from beginning to end. The placement office will send you instructions on all the steps to follow, including what you will need before starting that process. You can see that all we need is your last math class, the grade you got in that class, and your high school GPA. Students selecting the last math class you passed is a crucial piece of information that is necessary for proper placement and therefore your success. We think a lot of students can recognize their class from this list. If you are at all unsure of the last class you passed, you should get a copy of your transcript. If for some reason you can't, please contact the placement office at 509-574-4738. They will assist you or direct you to a math instructor who can. When you have gathered that information, follow the link provided in the instructions. This is the link where you will fill in the requested information, your student ID, your name, and the last math class that you passed, and then select your status, whether you are a Running Start student or not. After you select Access Diagnostic, it will open the placement page for the math level that you indicated you had completed. You will see the name of the test that you indicated, and then begin by selecting the blue Start button. Read the instructions and then select First Question. You will then select the grade that you remember getting in the class. Again, we are depending on your honest answers to these questions in order to place you at the appropriate level, which can save you time and money and frustration. Select the next question when you have responded. Next, select the GPA range that you remember from high school, and then select Next Question. Now you will be given 12 problems with solutions, all completed for you to see. For each problem and solution, you will be asked to select what you think best describes your ability for each of the 12 problems. Do you think you could have done that type of problem even without seeing the solution? Or is the solution all you needed to remember how to do it? Do you just need a brief lesson? Or do you need a full lesson and practice in order to do that type of problem? Select Next Question after you've made your choice for each problem. Take your time as you go through the problems. We know this type of self-assessment is challenging. If you are fairly cautious, you may underrate yourself and find yourself in a class that's too easy for you. If you are overconfident, or you just want a high placement, you may tend to overestimate your ability and end up in a class that is way over your head. You should be aware that college math classes move at a pace 2 to 3 times as fast as high school classes. Again, you will have to evaluate your own ability for each problem, so it is good to be aware of your own tendencies so that you give us as accurate of a self-evaluation as possible for each question, since this test is only to be taken once. Once you've completed the self-assessment of your abilities on the 12 problems, you will come to the final page. It will say Question 15, and this is where you use the Submit and End button to see your results. Calculus students will have fewer questions. On the results page, your math level will be given. A list of possible courses for various levels is shown, and the class you select at your level will depend largely on your area of interest and will be made at some later point with the assistance of an advisor. You can take a picture of this page or write down your placement level and then exit using the Exit button in the upper right corner. Referring back to the placement instructions that you received from the placement office, you are now directed to email the testing center to notify them that you have completed the assessment. It's at testingservices@ybcc.edu. Make sure you include your name and YBC ID number. We want you to be successful in your first math class, and getting in the right class is the first step. We know math can be challenging for students, but we want you to know that all of the instructors in the YBC Math Department are here for you and want to help you successfully reach your educational goals. So I hope you are aware of what you need to have before starting the placement process, and that you are aware of the important role you play in finding you the right math class. Again, if you have any questions, please call the placement office for assistance. Remember, we are all in this together.